Hey guys, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the MagnaFlow Competition Series catback with the black chrome tips, available for all 2024 and newer fastback GTs without the factory active exhaust. Now, you should be checking out the MagnaFlow for your ride if you're really looking to wake up your non-active GT with a wild sound, plenty of volume, and a premium build quality, all backed by a lifetime warranty. So getting right into the MagnaFlow sound clips we heard at the start of this video, guys, and this system is a wild one. Volume certainly isn't an issue. We'll talk more about that in a second, but the tone to me is the big story here. I'm actually picking up shades of the GT350's Voodoo engine in some of the lower RPM range. I know that might sound a little crazy, but that's just what I'm picking up. Regardless, a very unique sound and one that will certainly turn a few heads, especially on those cold starts. So going to my Wake the Neighbor scale, I have the competition coming in at a strong 4 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Now, for something as rowdy as this system sounds on the outside, the interior noise, on the other hand, really is pretty minimal overall. Now, I think that is going to be attributed largely to the new design of the system here. As you can see, we'll talk more about that in a second. But again, loud, rowdy on the outside, definitely a deeper tone, but nice and pleasant on the inside. Let's talk a little bit more about the build and construction here from the American-made systems, guys. MagnaFlow historically has a really nice build quality, and that certainly hasn't changed here with the new competition. Now, this system does feature a full stainless build along with a corresponding lifetime warranty on the actual build itself, and a 1-year coating warranty for things like the tips. Now, that stainless will find its way into things like the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing here, the resonator deleting H-pipe. I'm a big fan of the H-pipe, you guys know that, and a bit of a rarity in the category if we're being honest. A lot of these aftermarket kits tend to rely on an X-pipe. It's good to see the old H-pipe still standing strong here with MagnaFlow. Now, everything is going to lead into the new and improved Competition Series mufflers. Now, the older style comp mufflers utilized a straight through perforated tube design without this little piggyback here, which sounded great. It was certainly rowdy, very loud, definitely a nice deep tone, but it was a little boomy on the inside of the car. Nowadays, MagnaFlow has implemented this chamber design with the main muffler here. So this is actually chambered, guys. Still straight through, but there's an internal chamber right in the center here. And that really is going to transform the sound along with these unique resonator tubes, which really help tone down the interior boominess or drone. It's a really wild combination here and a really cool looking design, and one that is functional. It helps deliver a really deep tone, but one that doesn't punish you while cruising on the highway. Finally, guys, the cherry on top here of the MagnaFlow is the large 4.5-inch dual-walled tips finished in the very attractive black chrome here. And that really large 4.5-inch diameter does a great job of filling out the rear valance on those non-active GTs. Now, you are going to be paying a little bit more for that quality and unique tone from MagnaFlow here with their competition, as this system will land you right around that mid $2,000 price point, a little bit more, which does put this amongst other category heavy hitters such as the Borla systems, Corsa, and AWE. But let's shift gears and talk more about the install. And the site is going to call this a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 4 hours at most to complete from start to finish. Now this is a bolt-on job, meaning there's no cutting whatsoever, but since all of your work is done underneath the car, the wrench rating and time are going to reflect that. But now to give you a better idea of just how this one might go down in the driveway or garage, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a ratchet, a mallet, an exhaust hanger remover tool, a flathead screwdriver, a 13mm swivel socket, 15mm socket, and a pry bar. What's up guys? Today we're installing an exhaust on our Mustang, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is come to the double flange behind our cat. We have 4 15mm bolts that we can loosen up with a 15mm socket. Now we're going to leave this just like that for now as we work on the rest. One thing to keep in mind is when we go to pull this off, this little hook is keeping this on, so you're going to have to get a flathead screwdriver to pull back on that on both sides when we go to remove it. Next we can come right behind our rear diff to this hanger. There's one on each side of this bracket. There's a 13mm bolt holding it on. So I've got a 13mm swivel socket on an extension to pop this off. And now we'll just come to the other side and do the same exact thing. And now with them both removed, you can push up to get those hangers off the hooks. And do that same thing on the other side. Now, last thing we need to do before we can remove this is remove these 2 bolts that were on the inside of those 2 hangers behind the rear diff. So I'm using that same 13mm socket with an extension. Now with those removed, we can push it up off the hook and pull that down to get the clearance we need. So now I've got myself a buddy to support the weight of the rear of the exhaust while I work on the front. We're going to push this towards the rear to disconnect these 2 pipes, and then we can pull it forward to pull it out of the back hangers. So now with our exhaust removed, we can take an exhaust hanger remover tool to pop off these 2 hangers because we will have to reuse them for our new exhaust. Now, last thing we need to pop off is our 2 clamps that are at the front of the exhaust. You can take a rubber mallet and get the edge of a pry bar on the edge of the clamp to tap these off. So the first thing we're going to do is reinstall our 2 clamps. We're going to have the nuts going towards the passenger side. So we'll get both of these up and slide them on. And now with those up into place, I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver to pry up on this clip so that we can push this the rest of the way on. And now with our clamps installed, we can slide our H-pipe into place. I've got a pole jack here to support the weight of the backside of the H-pipe. And now with our pipe slid in place, we can take a 15mm socket to tighten down our clamps. Next, we can install our axle pipe. So I'm going to take one of our clamps first, slide that over the edge of our pipe, And then we can grab our hanger. You're gonna want the hook facing the front of the car. And we'll slide that onto our rod. Get our pipe slid into place. And then we can hook our hanger up onto the frame. Next, we can reinstall our bolt for our hanger. And then we'll grab our 13mm swivel socket to tighten that down. Next, we can straighten out our pipe, and then we'll take a 15mm socket to tighten down our clamp. And then you can repeat that same process for the other side. Next, we can reinstall this bracket. So we're gonna hook this into our frame over our U-clips. And then we'll grab our 2 bolts and thread those into those U-clips. And then we'll take that same 13mm swivel socket to tighten these down. Next, we can install our muffler. So we're gonna grab another one of our clamps, slide it over the edge of our pipe. And now we're gonna get our rod into our isolator right on the other side of our diffuser first, and then we'll connect our 2 pipes together. And now we can go back and slide our clamp into place, and then take our 15mm socket to tighten it down. And then you can repeat that same process on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the MagnaFlow Competition Series catback exhaust system with black chrome tips for your 2024 and newer Mustang GT Fastback without active exhaust. Thank you for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.